Thank you for tuning in to
Fan Podcast with me, your host, Ross Thompson, and your co-host, Sam Turner.
check us out on Facebook.
At Fan Podcast.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's an upcoming DJ in Manchester. He's been DJing in decades and back to the 80s. So if you are in that vicinity in Staley Bridge, go check him out. I don't know what days are they open, Sam? Times?
So Decades is open on a Friday and Saturday, mainly from 9 PM onwards.
I'll ask you a few questions. So, how old was you when you started getting into DJing?
You know what, it wasn't even too long ago. So it was last Christmas. That's when I got my first DJ deck
Yeah.
and the availability to music on my computer. So that's where I started. I obviously downloaded the app, Virtual DJ, and then just started messing around, got the fundamentals down, and then carried on from there. So it was about 6 months ago.
Sounds interesting, that, you know.
And I've got to be honest, if you listen to Bailey, in Decades, you won't think he'd only been doing it for fucking 6 months.
Yeah.
Genuinely, the way he applies himself, because when I speak to your dad, speak to Colin as well on a regular basis, and Colin even says he's in his room all the time, just mixing tracks, bettering himself and trying to always improve on top of what he's
that's
doing.
the only way you can do it is if you want to better yourself and you want to be the best out there. Obviously, I don't know, you want to be the best in Manchester, or do you want to be the best in the UK? You want to be I don't know, David Guetta, for example. Single DJ I can think of.
So the question what he's trying to put to you is basically what's your ambition? So as a DJ, how far do you want to take it? What's your
What's your dreams?
Yeah,
basically?
What's my dreams? To make DJing my career.
Yeah.
So obviously prioritise DJing as a job. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So would you so obviously so say for example, right, you're about 2 years down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you're going to be better than you already are. So say in 2 years, right, you've done Staley Bridge for that long, what would you then want to do? Would you want to try and take it more either say into Manchester, or would you want to look at more worldwide?
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking about it yesterday. I told my dad, I said I want to expand out of Staley Bridge and get a residency somewhere else, expand somewhere else.
Yeah, of course, and it's and obviously it's important for you that you do that, because obviously your dad will support you anyway, same with Colin, but it's also important for you to want to lead your own path, in your head what you want to do. And it's I've said on this podcast so many times, people are their own limitation on their ambition. So the only person who's going to stop you from achieving what you want to achieve is yourself. But and this is no exaggeration, I've seen you a few times, even before Decades got rebranded and refurbished a bit. I've seen you and I think, fucking hell, he is good. I've even said to Colin, I said, he's better than you.
Yeah.
And that's not me trying to put Colin down.
No, it's not being you a cunt or anything.
Yeah,
it's just being honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. You don't want to We always say to people in the music industry and people who are doing businesses, there's no point of going at each other. You know what I mean? You may as well learn from one another. Obviously you're only young. Colin might know a few things that you don't know, and Colin can oh yeah, well just do this, Bailey, and it'll help you out a little bit, vice versa,
But also as well, what's going to come in handy for Bailey is the fact that Colin's got quite a good social media following. So when he's starting to get himself out there and push his own DJing himself, he won't have to struggle, because he'll get a good social media backing. And it's obviously it's he's already got photos to use now as well for posters and online stuff, because it's because it was quite funny actually. So I initially went down to Decades on Friday night to do some shots for the promo work for what Colin wanted doing.
Yeah.
And was it outside Decades we were stood? when you asked me to, when you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
so we were stood outside Decade, so you know what he did? He
Wow.
goes, oh Sam, yeah, come down tomorrow and do some shots for me. And I was like, yeah mate, of course, you know, and I said to him, I said, look, I'll do your shoots, I'll edit it up, I'll make it look as good as I can.
Yeah.
And like, you know, so obviously I sent him the copies and I sent him the edits afterwards, and he turned around and said, well, fuck it, he went, they're good.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them myself, obviously, on your photography page. I mean, if you want to shout it out, your photography page, more than welcome to, you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, it's photography_ by Samuel, but like all my recent work is going on there, and like what's led on, obviously, from doing Decades and from taking photos of, you know, Bailey doing his DJing. Obviously, I've then took photos of the class at Jiu-Jitsu
Yeah, I've seen them as well.
on behalf of Coach.
Yeah.
But now I've got people at Jiu-Jitsu who want me to do their profiling and like do work for them. So
Yeah.
it's just everything at the moment is leading from one thing to another.
Yeah.
Like it's jumping into what I want it to jump into. Like, you know, I'm busy all the time. You know, like I've not even had a chance to fucking upload shit onto my Instagram yet.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, and that's how like literally how busy I've been. Like whether I've been like working or been out with people. Like, you know, yesterday we went out.
Yeah, obviously went out
You know,
food and shit, whatnot,
and then
football.
that's how we got Bailey on, because we was out yesterday and like was just sat having a buffet, and I said around and went, hang on, why don't we fucking get Bailey on the podcast, you know?
Yeah.
Dropped him a message and here he is today.
Well, like I've not had the privilege to actually hear him at Decades or anything, which I'm really gutted about. But hopefully I can come in and obviously see you, Bailey, when you're at work and everything, you know, doing your stuff. But obviously I've seen you at 80s. I know it's different music and everything. Oh shit, at 80s. But yeah, so if you was to do your own DJing at other clubs, like what music genres would you look like? What do you prefer to do?
So genres like house,
Yeah.
clubland's fun to do, and bassline.
Yeah. So would you say that they're your genres that you?
They're my main three, because that's those three genres. You know, the upbeat, aren't they?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gonna bring people to the dance floor,
Yeah.
and that's what a DJ wants.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to quiet dance floor and
Empty dance
everything.
floor is not
A
good.
bloody photographer trying to get photos for your portfolio don't want a fucking busy dance floor, mate, let me tell you. But no, like that's it. Like, you know, obviously this is why my head falls off when you say you've only done it for 6 months, because you've got the right idea. Like, you know your shit. Like, you're like, yeah, so I've got to do this so this happens, and it's like, fucking hell, it sounds like you've been doing it for fucking years. Like, you know, it's like for example, I mean, I've said, and I'll openly say it, I'm not big into music. I listen to it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not big into like producing it or being a DJ or anything like that. But from what I've seen of, like, obviously I follow David Guetta on TikTok, and from what I've seen of when he's gone, oh yeah, this is me in like whatever country, and
Ibiza and all that
fucking-
shit. Yeah.
and I look at the dance floor and I'm like, holy shit, like that is a good crowd, you know, and everyone's like phones out, everyone's singing, everyone knows what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, like I said to Bailey a bit ago, I said, look, Stu, are good at what you're doing. I said your potential's unreal, mate.
Yeah.
Like literally, you could do anything you want with it.
So would you like work with artists themselves as well, and like do mixing, or would you just rather just stick to the decks and just DJ?
I'd rather stick to the decks and DJ and do it
Yeah.
independently.
Yeah. I mean, that's how obviously David Guetta got his name and title, innit? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's a DJ, but he's done a few collabs with people, and then built up and everything.
The thing is, like, obviously, like, for you, Bailey, you've got to be selfish, mate. Whatever you want,
Yeah.
it's the way you're gonna do it. But you know, it's like if people come to you and say, "Oh, would you like to do this?" Like, it's got to be like, obviously, you do compromise a little bit, but as long as it's mainly on your terms, then that's it. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I agree with you. So whatever works best for you, Bailey, you just do you. Fuck everyone else.
Because it's like Ross has recently got back into like doing his own music, and it's like, you know, he's work, like he started collabing with like Craig, and he's like you know, he's trying to get people to collab with him, and it's like obviously that's the direction he wants to go in, and you know it's like right, that's good. So that's what he wants to do, and it's all on his terms. So like he'll produce the beat, but he wants someone to like
The vocals.
do the vocals for it, and that's the way he wants to do it, and no one can tell him differently. You know, and it's like with you, like I've said, I do think you've got great potential, like genuinely do, because I've seen Decades myself, like last weekend. So it was the launch weekend, and
Yeah.
I mean, on a launch weekend, obviously it goes one of two ways anyway. You're either going to be really packed or you're going to be like dead.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it's like when I finished work on Saturday night, and I came down, like, because obviously I went upstairs first, and upstairs you had about 7 people, if that, like customer wise, up there. But then downstairs it was chaotic on the dance floor, like literally. So where the bar is, so you go downstairs, you've got the bar to your right, and obviously you had like, there's a bit of a queue at the bar, because obviously people's like getting the drinks, but then, like I come down, obviously I've like let on to Bailey, said right, get the photos done, so let on to him, then I looked at the dance floor and I thought, right, now where can I get an angle from, because it was that busy. I was like, I might not even be able to get the shots what I want to get.
Yeah.
So with that, I might have had to come down a bit earlier the next time just to get a few shots of what I wanted, but I was able to do it. But that's what I mean, like that's also a sign of a good DJ, is the dance floor, literally you could barely move.
I mean that's what you want, isn't it? That's like the sort of like
That's the satisfaction,
atmosphere. Yeah. So like when you see that crowd, obviously you know you've got that crowd amped and everything. How does it make you feel, Bailey? Like
What on the dance floor's for?
Yeah.
A bit of both things. So you've got obviously happiness because it shows that people are enjoying it, but then it fills you up with pressure because you have to maintain those customers on the dance floor.
But it's got to satisfy them and everything. So you don't want to like drop a next track and they're like, so it's just like you know you've got to like be on your game all the time, haven't you?
Yeah, but what I will say is like obviously I've watched how you like, you know, you're doing whatever you're doing on the decks, but I've seen like you're always forward thinking, like and you could like if you watch him DJ, you can see he's watching the crowd, but he's also like looking at what he's got to do next, and then he'll put another track on. It's like fucking hell, like, and he's keeping it all. Like he's keeping it like together, he's keeping the dance floor there, and like literally on Saturday night the dance floor was that busy, hardly anyone was at the bar buying drinks.
Colin took a video and he's filmed the dance floor and it's obviously packed, and then he's swept the camera to the right and there's barely anyone there.
Yeah, I got told when I was working at 80s that there was like, oh no one was buying drinks. I was like, are you being serious? I was like, why though? Like, you know, it's like I'd be buying drinks all night, mate. If I was down there, I was like, oh yeah. Everyone was just dancing because of the DJ. I was like, and I didn't know at the time he was DJing. I knew Connor was down there one night, and I thought Connor was down there.
Yeah, Connor was there Friday night.
I thought Connor was DJing that night, so I thought, oh yeah, well, I've spoke to Connor on Facebook and everything. I've seen his like social media presence and everything, and I was like, he seems like a decent DJ, this guy. So I thought it was him, and then I was like, nah, it's Bailey. I was like, what? I was like, no, it was Bailey. I was like, fuck off, it's not. I was like, yeah. I was like, Jesus. I was like, so gutted. I really wanted to. Obviously, I wanted to come down and see you DJing because I've only seen you do it like a minor at my venue that I work at, but it doesn't allow you to do your full potential. Whereas obviously Decades does, and I was really gutted about that.
When you see him at Decades compared to back to the 80s,
yeah.
Honestly, like, don't get me wrong, he's good at 80s, but he's fucking better at Decades because obviously the downstairs part and what he plays is like it's a proper like, you know, it's a proper like good like buzz, and like literally you see people just they're having a good time, and you've not really got many dickheads in there, like, you know, trying to start shit because he's playing the right music. You know, he's got the crowd on the dance floor, he's keeping the crowd as well.
Yeah. Right, so just want to set something straight. Right. So if you have one song and get another song and mix it together,
Fuck me.
is this a remix?
Wait, what?
If you have one song and then another song, yeah, and like mix it together, it's a remix, innit? Would you say?
Yeah, it's a remix. Yeah, no, it is.
Thank you. Debate settled, everyone.
Yeah, to the one person that is like trying to fucking chat shit.
Yeah. We're not gonna go into too much detail about it, but yeah. I think some guys got a bit of an obsession, and yeah, just we won't dive too deep into it, but yeah, just apparently I take people's songs, even though 2 songs together is a remix, so
And you put it in the title.
yeah, it's a remix, yeah. So
But what we are going to do is we are going to play one of Bailey's songs now.
yeah. So this is Deep Inside feature Rip Groove. This is on his SoundCloud account. Would you like to tell everyone how to find you on SoundCloud?
Yeah, you can. So it should be capital DJ, obviously DJ in capitals, and then disco with a capital D.
Right, so there it is, everyone. DJ Disco, so capital DJ and then disco. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Doing good, mate, doing good. I didn't mean to pressurise you into that one. I just wanted to get out there because it pissed me off, mate. Proper rotten.
And I was like, fucking hell, you put him on the spot there.
You playing the whole song?
This is your 5-minute one. Yeah, play your whole song, yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we if it's like 5 minutes, we always do, mate. Gives us a break.
You know what I did with this as well? So, obviously, this is 2 songs mixed together.
Right, that's what I mean, like get one song and get another song.
Yeah.
Mix it together.
So what I did was, when you normally DJ, you'll play one song and then slowly start the other one in.
Yeah,
What I did with this one is, I just click play at the same time on both of them.
yeah,
And when there's a silence in one bit, the other one jumps in. And when
yeah.
that one finally gets the silence,
Yeah,
the other one
and
gets
then-
back in.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you'll see how it plays out, it's good.
This is my sort of music, mate. I love this shit. Fucking beast this on this. I'm gonna let you go, 'cause you're my baby. Real tempted to flip my mic and go, DJ Disco.
It all goes in a minute. It all silences out. You'll see how it plays out, watch.
The bass in that is just fucking fat. Yeah, it's coming down now.
Have you put that photo on the podcast page as well?
Yeah. So that's what you could do, do you know what I mean? So like when you're like doing your remixes, you can go like DJ Disco and like do you know how Selected do theirs as well? You could do like stuff like that. But if you need stuff like that doing, then obviously you don't know how to do it, just message me and I'll sort it all out for you if you want.
You've not put that one on the podcast page, have you? You put it on your personal Facebook.
Put it through as a podcast. Oh no, I didn't, sorry.
No, it's alright. So I can.
Yeah. Just double check the podcast. Did you check the
I've checked the page
Yeah.
before uploading. Yeah, for some reason you won't let me tag Bailey on our podcast page.
That's stupid, that.
It's like last night, I did, like, obviously, I did at Bailey Space Thompson, and he wouldn't even fucking let me tag him. Like, it just came up with fucking Bailey's the alcohol page. I was like, well, obviously, I don't get tagged that, am I?
Well, go on our search bar, yeah, and then type in Bailey Thompson, see if you can find him that way. and then we might have to follow him. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then it should allow. I don't know.
Well, look, one sec.
Because we can tag certain people in our podcast. Like I can tag me, I can tag him in it and everything, but we run it.
Just, yeah, so obviously it just says see options. So obviously,
Unless we make Bailey an admin as well, and then we can go like,
why is that what we've got to do? 1 minute, let me see you.
you're my baby, let's go.
Into an end
Oh, yes, I can tag him now.
So this sort of music they play down at Decades.
Yeah, but the thing is, I won't play the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll probably start the next song after the first chorus. You know, like when the silence came in, it was just
Yeah,
deep inside. Just that.
Yeah,
Start the next one there.
Ready, Sam?
Yeah, 1 minute.